And there is a concern, while President Trump and his administration didn't raise any issue on Kashmir and other areas, there's a concern that this may come up in the Biden administration. So what would be advice to government of India would be to Prime Minister Modi, how to handle this issue with the Biden administration?
Well, I've felt that the Indian government, it's not my place to be critical of the Indian government, but I do think the Indian government at times has not been as forward-leaning on making the case, not just in the United States, but on a global basis about Kashmir in particular. The fact that there had been in the prior relationship inability to do economic development, there'd been the inability of women to participate fully in society, that the Indian government's promises of opening up more job opportunities, more women participation, that story was not told in the United States. At the same time, I think the Indian government's restrictions on travel inside Kashmir seem to be overly restrictive, particularly the restrictions on foreign journalists, the restrictions on the internet. Some of that has started to ease up a little bit, but there is, we've seen some of the stories, and there is two sides of this story. I've expressed concerns privately to the Indian government on how this has played out, and I do think the Indian government's going to need to be more aggressive on making its case that some of the changes in terms of the Indian federal charter for these two regions will actually mean more advancement and more potentially long-term freedom, and not as simply a effort to silence communities that may be Muslim majority. I do find as well that and again, I have some troubles with some of the new citizenship rules that the government's put forward. So I do think the Indian government is going to need to be aggressive on making its case, not just in America, but around the world.